Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy, Ivorian Spice, and welcome to the Catch Up Volume 48. Another week, we are back at it again. Of course, this is usually a Manchester United channel, but at the moment, it's currently an England national team channel as we speak, especially this podcast itself. Yes, we are following our beloved team, our beloved nation, England. And of course, guys, if you're new to this channel and you're watching the show and you're thinking, what the hell am I doing on this live stream? I thought I was watching one of those Euros 2020 matches because I saw a live Euro 2020 match on one of your streams. But yes, it isn't that. You're here to watch us and enjoy us as well. We've got Alice here, Alice from Alice Talks Football. Alice, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the catch up. Welcome. We were happy to have you. You're technically the second female that's been on this channel.
True. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Pleasure to be here. I'm feeling okay. You know, I don't know how England are going to be tomorrow. Are we going to be boring? Are we going to be good? You know.
I know. And of course, I've got one of my co-hosts. We've got Amuk. Amuk, how are you? How's everything?
I'm good. You know, everything is all right. Football been interesting. We've seen things that we shouldn't, but the Euro been crazy still. It's been a crazy week still.
And of course, we've got Munzi in the building. He says, yes, finally a hot lady. You know, you see what happens when you bring a woman on. Already, they already start, their savageness comes out of nowhere. But yes, guys.
Big up, Munzi.
Big up, Munzi. Yes, guys, let's get it started. This week's show, we will be talking about England versus Scotland. England drawing against the Scottish. And we will also be looking at match day 2 and 3 of the Euros, including the game of the week. Furthermore, England versus the Czech Republic match preview. Last but not least, question time, my favorite part of the game. Let's get it started straight away, guys. England 0, Scotland 0. Yes. On a Friday night, guys, where we there singing, it's Friday night and I feel all right. And the party's supposed to be at Wembley, but it was not at Wembley on Friday night. It really wasn't. It was raining, and you thought, yes, rain, England, Scotland, it's going to be a bloodfest. It's going to be war, you know. It's going to be all of that because the rain is there. But unfortunately, again, it wasn't that. It was a ball draw, unfortunately. Guys, I'm going to start off with you, Alice, as you are the guest. England, Scotland, what was your take on that game?
What a waste of 90 minutes was my first thought. Just boring. Like, there wasn't even anything good from it because we didn't score. We were just boring. The subs were just late and confusing. Rashford striker. The football was crap. Should have changed it up. Yeah, disappointing. I think disappointing would probably be the best word to sum up the game.
I hear you. And Amuk, what about you? What did you think of the game against Scotland?
It's me watching Manchester play. It's just like the weekend. Now, I was just a bit upset because of the anticipation about the match. If my manager spoke to me about the match, we all felt disappointed after the match. Everyone just felt disappointed.
I like that there. I'm not surprised because I was disappointed because I don't know. I woke up on that Friday feeling in the mood like, oh yes, England's playing. Thinking about the England game all day like it's Manchester United playing, you know? I was like, yeah, man, England, today is Friday. I don't care that I finish at 6:30. I'm going to get home, grab a drink, and get toasted. You know,
lucky.
It's the same thing when you do watch Manchester United. You can't watch Manchester United sober, and you can't watch England sober.
Lucky you got a chance to go home and do whatever you want to do. I finished work at 8:30. Start watching like literally, I was rushing. You know how stressful it was to watch the game on your phone, try to get home and watch the game, and the end result just it's just too much.
Oh, honestly speaking, the end result was a bit too much. It was disappointing because I thought that it felt like a loss, you know, against Scotland. A team that we all thought, yeah, we will beat. unfortunately, we didn't. I was showboating. I was talking to my friends. I was talking smack. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna speed those Scottish people out." No, look at the goal they conceded against what? Was it against the Swiss? Or was it against the Czechs? Halfway line. We're definitely gonna do something. I thought Harry Kane would have a field day, but he did absolutely nothing. Therefore, the whole performance itself was like, yes, Manchester United-esque, you know. Before I was like the game against Croatia, I was like, what? Oli, that's not Oli. And then that game against Scotland, I was like, I think Oli's there. I think that's Oli in a waistcoat. Because that there double pivot against Scottish, double pivot, playing two defensive midfielder against a lower league team is something that our own manager would do, because he would play a double pivot of Fred against let's say the likes of Sheffield United, which is equivalent to Scotland in terms of European competition. So I was shocked, because I was saying to Alice earlier on that ideally England should have started with a single pivot, single holding midfielder, and put Phil Foden and also Mason Mount centre midfielders playing the more offensive, one playing the 8, one playing the 10 role.
Sure.
And so to allow more creative outlets such as Jadon Sancho. And right now I'm amazed that England hasn't played Jadon Sancho. The most goals out of all the wingers, the most assists. Do you know what he holds? Double assists, double goals figures. And you couldn't include Jadon Sancho in your starting lineup, or let alone come on to impact the game.
Yeah.
It's shocking. Guys, what do you guys have to say about the performance of England? I'm going to start off with you, Alice.
As I said to you before we started, it was very first half Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was the whole game. It didn't, because I'm so used to watching Man United, I think, okay, the second half, surely it's going to get better. But it just got worse in the second half. 2 CDMs against the Scotland side. It felt like watching Fred with Rice and Phillips, who were probably better than them, because I thought Scotland was winning the midfield. We couldn't string passes together. We couldn't string passes forward. It generally was first half United all over again, and Luke Shaw was one of the better players, but everyone was still pretty bad. Striker got no service, got no chances, you know. Everyone going off on Kane. Yeah, we could probably do a bit more. He's not at it, but if Calvert-Lewin played, is he going to score a goal? I mean, when did Kane have a shot on target? When did Sterling whip in a good cross to Kane? None. When did Foden put in a good cross to Kane? No, none. They just cut in and shoot, you know. Like, the wingers just didn't really provide anything. We couldn't get the ball forward quick enough. We kept losing the ball, sloppy passing, and Scotland just passed better than us. It was just first half United is how I describe it.
Yeah, and Amok, what about you? What do you have to say?
Like, the game was interesting in the fact that everyone's looking out for this match. My manager, she's a female. She didn't even know about football, but she spoke to me about the match. And to watch us play that day, make me feel like, wow, we can do better. She just said it all. We keep losing the ball. The midfield did not create nothing. Yeah, we could say Ken. The only reason why I can put on Ken is one of these strikers that don't need help, really and truly. Ken knows how to come down, get the ball, and go forward with it. But I can't blame Ken either. It's the setup. He don't have to blame in this whole thing. I can only blame one person. He's the manager. Whatever setup he used, that's what we saw. Because we always did say last week, don't play double pivot in the middle. We don't need 2 players. Just play one and let the players be themselves. And if he did that, put more creative players in, we could have seen better. Because if you play a team like Scotland, he'd go more physical players. He actually determined to play to win this match. I believe the only thing that would have helped England was to play creative players who knows how to do them little drop balls and open up defenders. Because we found it hard to open Scotland. We could even pass the ball through this team. And I'm thinking, like, what's going on? But it's football. Football is just full of surprises. Like, as much as I was upset, I was actually surprised as well, the way I saw Scotland play.
Monzi agrees with you, Amok. That's what he's saying. But yeah, I honestly agree with you, man. The performance was lackluster. And the fact that Scotland themselves, you know, they really did come out to play. They also had a debutant, Billy Gilmore, who at first, in the first half, I thought he was struggling. Second half, he done really well. And it's a shame. And to see Scott McTominay And the last ditch things that he did, I was like, Scott. I dreaded this Scott McTominay scoring the winning goal against England, and then doing the longest ever knee slide, probably from the start of the pitch towards the end of the pitch. I really dreaded that. But big up to Scott, because I think he had a good game. Guys, did you guys notice that Scott McTominay played at one moment centre back? He'll play centre back. And he usually plays centre back for Scotland.
Is it in the second half?
Yeah, in the second half, in the free.
Yeah. I did not really notice it now. Now you're saying it I could just see because he kept dropping back too much.
Yeah.
He did drop back a lot.
Is it a thing where Scotland don't rate him that they don't even want to play him in midfield, box to box, in his best position? They're not playing him centre back. Is it a thing like that? Because is it something that Ollie should notice himself, that he's not good enough to play in midfield?
He's not good with the ball. That's the only thing. If you're box to box midfielder, you have to have the ability to be creative. Like, play with the ball should be the best thing that you've got to offer. That's why people, whenever they say midfielders, Bob Wasn't always come on top, because he's actually one of them players that plays with the ball better.
And of course, do you want to add something to that, Ellis?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't play Scott McTominay centre back for United because he's playing at a 3-back. He's playing 3 centre backs, so it's always a little bit easier. And I think, I don't want to be playing 5 at the back, 3 at the back, whatever you call it. I think that's the only way you can maybe put him at the back. I don't want to see that. I don't think he's a CDM. I always thought, he could maybe do a job as a box to box. Because I generally think he looks better going forward than defending. I always think like he could be like a Souček, kind of plays with Declan Rice, but then he gets forward a bit more. That's kind of how I see him. But I wouldn't want to ever see him at all like centre back for United. But I do think he had a good game. He was one of their better players. He did that last ditch tackle, didn't he?
Yeah, I know.
Big up Ems. Ems there finally logged in.
Guys.
Ems, how you doing?
I'm all right.
It's all right. I know you've been doing your things. Let's get your take on England versus Scotland, so we can continue our debate. I know you really wants to laugh.
Ems.
I feel like what I'm gonna say, I think it's already been spoken about, but I'll say it though still. Please tell me, how I watched 90 minutes, blood, and their kit weren't dirty. Like, I don't understand. We didn't do nothing the whole game. Like, Scotland were the better of the two teams, in my opinion. Yeah.
Sure.
And I feel like Southgate's a coward. He's just another Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in disguise. And I feel like why are we playing 2 defensive midfielders against Scotland? Scotland, not France, not Brazil, not Argentina. Scotland. No disrespect, yeah. And I feel like we should have played 4-3-3, 1 defensive midfielder. But I just feel like I'm just watching Man United over again, but in the English. It don't make no sense. How is this possible? Nah, man. But like, for me, like, Southgate, for me, if Southgate don't get to the semis, I think the FA got to sack him and get someone else to do the job, in my opinion. But I feel like Southgate's holding the England team back from doing anything, because the way he plays, like, it's not exciting. Like, I don't know if it's me. Do you find?
Sure.
Have you found the last 2 games exciting? Because the Croatian game, I'll be honest, like, it was like watching paint dry. And then I think people were over it. But you know what, though? Let me not be too negative, right? But I feel like if it was flipped over, and we beat Scotland and we drew against Croatia, I don't think it would have been as bad as it is now, if that makes sense, innit? But nah, man, trash, bro. I don't care, trash.
You hear that, guys? Ems, even though we are on a vacation from Manchester United and the season's over, our national coach reminds us of our own club. We can't get away from this. We just can't. We really can't, guys. If you're watching, make sure you smash that like button. Also, remember to share. Also, let us know what you think of the England game against Scotland. Guys, let's talk openly. A player that hasn't been doing too well so far, Harry Kane. What is going on, guys? What is going on? Guys, anyone can take the floor and let me know what's going on with Harry Kane.
Can you go first, please? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Me personally, listen. When England play these qualifiers, they're playing Malta and Andorra. They're playing against plumbers and people that work in Tesco's and things like that, Obviously, any England man can look good in it, But even like the last World Cup, yeah, I don't think Harry Kane was even that great either. But obviously the numbers protect his performances. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
True.
So for me, yeah, I feel like he's sluggish, but I don't think he's got no excuse because for me, people talk about he's tired, he played too many games. But hold on, how many games did Messi and Ronaldo play season in, season out? So for me, I'm not having that. I just think he's been poor, and that's it. End of. And man needs to do more. Man needs to stop dropping deep. Like he needs to actually play on the shoulder, and be a focal point rather than man thinks he's a false nine. Like, nah. You need to just stay up front, in my opinion, anyway.
Anyone else got to add to that? Alice, what do you think of
Yeah,
Kane as well?
I think Kane should be better. He's definitely underperformed and all of that. But I don't think Harry Kane is the biggest problem. I don't think he's the sole problem. I wouldn't personally drop him. I think it's Southgate and the tactics Southgate play. That is one of the reasons Kane is so poor. Again, it's kind of first half Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 2 CDMs, very, very negative. Like, there's just nothing happening. And I just think, Foden and Sterling, they're just looking to cut in and take on players and score. They're not providing any service. 2 CDMs aren't getting a ball forward. Mount's trying, but he's kind of starved, like Bruno sometimes gets starved in them big games with Ollie. I just think if Calvert-Lewin started, if even he played Rashford at strike, even though he's a winger, I don't think the game would have gone much different if they started, because I just think, Kane hasn't been good. He's been absolutely crap, but I think the media like to look at Kane, whereas for me it's Southgate, because I just think he's had no service. It's like sometimes, like, I really like Martial, a lot of people don't, but sometimes when Martial has a bad game, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to leave Martial, because what did we give him to do? They're a striker, they're there to score goals. They get one chance, you take it. And Kane hasn't even had that one chance to take. In that Scotland game, was there a time where you thought, oh, Kane should have scored? No, like, he just had no chances. So it's just all manager for me, but Kane needs to step up though.
Yeah, absolutely. And Amok, I want to throw that to you as well. What do you think is going on with Harry Kane so far? Because he's been 2 games and he has been, for me, poor.
I can just emphasize on what Alice just said. You can't really point finger at Kane. If the whole team ain't performing well, you just got it's just like a company, right? You got a company and you're not meeting your target and you're losing money. He's gonna be responsible, the manager, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as football. If certain players, because we all know Kane's ability, we know Harry Kane is. So that's why we're actually shocked to see him performing this past 2 games the way he did. But I can't blame Kane because he's still a world-class player. Like Alice said, we rather have Kane up front than Rashford and Calvert-Lewin. But you see, for the Scotland match, I would have rather used Calvert-Lewin. He's them type of strikers. He remind me of Lukaku a little bit. They know how to get in between defenders without the ball. Kane is actually good on the ball when he's facing defender. But without the ball, that's what we've seen Kane this past 50 games. He's not good on the ball. Without the ball, he's not good. On the ball, he's excellent. Calvert-Lewin, without the ball, his movements are dangerous. So he's got the option. The manager got the options. But I don't know what happened with him, how he's picking up these teams. And you can't play double pivot against Scotland. You need creative players. So these teams are just playing you, sit there, watch you do you play, and trying to hold back, defend very good, which they did well. But if you got that one individual that could open the match, like for me, I'm so shocked that Ashanti ain't played yet. He's just had the longest injury out of all the players, came back, still performed to the end of the season, to the last few games, assisting and scoring goals. Why is he on the bench?
Yep, I know. And of course, we've got Mr. East 2 that says needs Sancho and Grealish defeat Kane. Mason Mount might need to sit down. What do you guys think of that?
Stu got 2 games already.
Obviously, Mason Mount's getting dropped anyway, and Chilwell, because there was in contact with Gilmore in it or something like that. I read. So, me personally, back to the Scotland thing again, right?
Yeah, we're still on in Scotland.
I just need to take it out right now. My thing, bro, we're playing 2 defensive midfielders, yeah. 2 centre backs to defensive midfield to protect the back, yeah. Against Scotland strikers, are their strikers world class? Like Shay Adams, who's done one? Dykes, he plays for QPR, right? Is that right?
Yeah, but he was right though. He was a little threat. He was right.
It was
but
more
we
Shea
let
Evans that was Shea Adams. Sorry, Shea Adams that was
them,
more of a threat.
But we let them though.
Hmm.
We let them though. That's the thing. We let them. But obviously,
Yep. No, go ahead.
No, but obviously we're gonna make changes for the Czech Republic game. I'm sure of that, but I don't know. There's certain I think there's certain players, not just Harry Kane, that their place in the team's got to be questioned. Certain man like Sterling, Mount, like there's a few that I don't think they deserve to be starting.
And my next question is, what about Phil Foden? Because to me, in the first two games that I've seen, I haven't been impressed, guys. Honestly speaking, I have not been impressed. All this hype, all this Foden, whenever he touches the ball, simple little pass. Oh, how wonderful that pass is from Phil Foden. I'm like, geez, he just made a simple pass. It's nothing. It's just adding salt and sugar to everything that he does with a little bit of spice, guys. Everything.
Kai, your name,
basic things.
English bias.
Yeah, it is English bias.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel like he should be benched as well, or play in his actual position where he can be playing in the number 10 role where he plays for Man City, not on the wing, because Phil Foden dribbling with the ball, that's not his quality. That's not his quality. That's not his credentials. No, he should be playing a real winger such as Sancho.
Yeah.
So my question is, guys, what about Foden?
And there's no doubt Phil Foden is a quality player, but I think one thing you've got to take into account is when he's playing at Man City, he's playing attacking football where he's going to get the ball a lot more, get a lot more chances. He's playing with De Bruyne. He's playing one CDM, Pep Guardiola football. So he's going to look good and look better in that system, and he's got better players that he's playing with and all of that. And Phil Foden's a player that he gets a lot of chances, and he does miss a few sitters and all of that, but he is a brilliant, brilliant player. But as you said, I think he is the most sucked off player by the media out of like everyone. Like he will just do a simple pass, and he's been told everyone's like, wow, Phil Foden this, Phil Foden that. Like I think he's a great player, but I think the media have overhyped him. Like I really do, because honestly, I said before the Euros I'd play Sancho over Foden on the right. And I got loads of people being like, no, what are you on about? You're deluded. Like more people were saying Foden over Sancho on the right before the Euros. And I was saying, look, I don't watch the Bundesliga much, but I know that Sancho is better than Foden. Foden's just been overhyped by the English media. And I think this English media overhyping Foden is almost, that's all believed that he is a level ahead that he is. But I still think he's a great player, but he's not playing for Man City. He's playing in a negative system where it's harder to shine in. And he's not looked impressive. He's been a little bit sloppy in possession, but he's been quite protected for it. And I just think, you know what? If we were playing a better style of football, I'm sure he'd be much better. I think it is, again, Southgate. But I personally would drop Phil Foden for Sancho. Maybe with Mount out, I'd move him to the middle, because he did play his first 2 seasons and a half at City in the middle and all of that.
Sure.
But for me, Sancho's got to be on that right-hand side. He needs to go.
Yeah, I've got Prometheus TV. Just 1 second. That's big up Prometheus TV. I believe Prometheus TV is one of your viewers, Alice.
Yeah, he is.
Yes. He says people underrate Pep because he has amazing players. He makes them amazing because of the system he's played in. Yeah. Of course, system does have an effect when it comes to these type of teams. And I think with England as well, their system themselves, the system that they have right now, isn't good enough to get the best out of all of these players and make them play in a way.
Where is it? Can I ask a question? Where's the English system? Where is it?
Guys, that's an interesting
He might be
question.
Manchester United.
I don't know.
Where is it? What is it?
England's football is that they want to be. Because I remember releasing a book. I remember England releasing a book a couple of years back.
Well, England.
Where is it? Where's the philosophy? Where's the philosophy behind this English football? Where is it?
I'm very sure it's probably possession-based football.
You don't see that at all.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. It's not about who you hire to ensure you perform what you want to perform. If you don't hire the right players to perform the philosophy that you have set for the nation, then you'll never see it come to light. You'll never see what you've written down come to light. So it's a question of whether Gareth Southgate is the right man. And of course, I know he's not the right man. But yes, guys, Sancho. No, sorry. Was you about to say something, Ems? Because I see you itching while I was talking.
No, no, you're right. But you know what it is, yeah? The FA, Man United board is very similar. They hire people with no credentials, bro. And this is the result you're getting. Like, let's be honest here. I need to get off this Man United topic. Sorry, that's the last thing I'm gonna say about that. But you know, this annoys me because I feel like what Southgate done to be England manager? What has he done? Like, what
has he achieved?
He was part of the under-21s coach,
that
and then
don't
as soon
make,
as the scandal with Sam Allardyce happened,
it don't matter.
They thought he was the best person.
It does not matter.
And he did okay
matter.
in qualifying and okay in his first tournament, and they believed he was the right person.
You hear yourself? He did okay.
Wait, hold your horses. You remember Ray Hodgson had that same 10 out of 10. You see how Redknapp was chatting, blood, about we do well in the qualifier, but we're playing plumbers and so assistant in Tesco and electricians and all them, man. Yeah. Then when we get to play against elite ballers, yeah, they can't do it.
No,
can't do it. So, bro, I'm not buying this whole qualifier rubbish, bro. It should be a given. We qualify, bro. There should be no way on earth we should be at every tournament. That's me.
I hear you. Big ups to everyone that's watching. Make sure you smash that like button. Of course,
guys, can I ask a question, please?
Let me just get this out of the way first of all before you ask your question. You got Munzi says shout out to FFTV, great YouTube channel. So I see Munzi's doing some self-promotion on other people's channel. Big up to FFTV.
Munzi, big up.
Great YouTube channel. Big up Munzi as well. But yes, fire away your question.
Do you know what this reminded me of? Do you remember at the beginning of the season? Oli came out and said he's got enough players in his hand. He don't know who to choose from. He's got too much quality on the bench, right? Maybe that's one of the reasons why he finished second. But I think we had a poor season anyways. It's the same thing for England, right? Before the tournament, in the media, he's going for this tournament. They've got so many players to choose from. I ain't saying the choice that they made is wrong, but they could have changed it a little bit because we've seen some of the issues. Some of the players that actually went. Why we got Henderson if he's not playing? He's half injured.
Yeah.
Why you've got him there?
We've got Maguire who's injured. We've got
injured as well. And Rashford is injured. Why we've got all these players? Rashford playing 10 minutes. Is that good enough? That's not Rashford. Rashford needs at least 60 minutes. At least 60 minutes before you can see the best out of Rashford. Yeah? Where is this? So for me, it's just like watching France, the other country play. I'm saying this. It's like me watching Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City play. And when I say Manchester is like 3 steps behind of these teams, England is actually 3 steps behind of France, Belgium, even Germany, even Italy right now on fire. The way they play, Italy used to play some type of football. They play possession football. They defense. They haven't considered a goal for 10 games.
It's the coach, mate.
10 games. They've got a system. They took years off football, not sitting at the top, but they're trying to perfect this system, and we've seen it. And that's the same thing Spain did. They didn't have a system before, but they bring us something different. And when they went to the World Cup in South Africa, what happened? They made a blueprint. But we've all watched England play all these years. What have we shown in this competition, this tournament, that someone can say, do you know what? I see England winning next tournament. What is it?
I know. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. But I think though, can you imagine we're moaning now, right? Can you imagine if they get knocked out, blood? It'll be carnage in this chat. So, but for me, I just feel personally, England have got to improve, because if they don't improve, and Harry Kane, I think Harry Kane's got to fire, because if Harry Kane don't fire, I think we're in problems. I'm not gonna lie.
They've got players, you know. England actually, like for me, it's France, England, before even Belgium, before any other country, in terms of youth, in terms of players.
England do have players.
England do have players.
Let me just move on, because the next question I want to ask is, Alice, first of all, I'm going to ask you, is it the time to bring in Jadon Sancho?
100%. I mean, I would have started him from the get-go before the Euros. I put him in my start level before the Euros. This guy's got 20 assists 3 seasons in a row. What Kane needs is service. When you have the best striker in the world, you don't want Phil cutting his left foot and maybe have a shot Foden. You don't want Sterling running into a load of players, and you need Grealish, creating chances. I think you need Sancho creating chances because you've got one of the best strikers in the world, but he's not firing. And, if he fires for Spurs that play pretty shit football and he can't even do it for England, you've got to be questioning the team selection and the manager. And the fact that Sancho hasn't even had 10 minutes off the bench. He hasn't had 10 minutes off the bench. He's bringing on an injured Rashford at striker where he doesn't play. And I'm like, what? Sterling's not getting subbed off. I guess he was all right versus Croatia, but he was crap versus Scotland. It wouldn't sub Sterling off for Sancho, who's had a better season. I just think it's generally Sancho and Bellingham play abroad. I don't think he watches the Bundesliga because he came out and said something about like game time and experience. He's like, oh yeah, Sancho's not that experienced or something like that. I'm like, have you seen Phil Foden? Sancho's played more the last 3 seasons than Phil Foden. I just don't think he watches abroad, and Sancho has to play the next game, or at least come on.
Yeah, big up Munzi. He says, I agree with Alice. I 100%. Everything that you just said there, you was spitting facts.
She was on everything.
He probably doesn't want. He doesn't fly out to Germany and sit down and watch his Jadon Sancho play or Jude Bellingham play. The fact that Jude Bellingham's on a bench as well is like, are you all right? Right. Are you all right? Do you know how good Jude Bellingham is? If you want that creative
for young
offense with that defensive discipline, Jude Bellingham is the right guy to play centre mid as well. But boy, it is what it is. He don't fly over to watch any other team play. He don't. He just stays here, flies over. Takes
just
the
watch
train
catch up
to watch his
YouTube
and watch the match today and attends the stadium. But it is what it is, guys. Let's move up to man of the match and donkey of the match of that game against Scotland. My man of the match which was really hard to pick out, but the most brightest spark out of everyone would probably Mason Mount to me, which because of what the balls he brought in the box, especially for Sterling and for Kane as well. He was the brightest out of all of them. He was my man in the match. Don't give the match. I'm gonna have to give it to Kane again, back to back. Man in the match for Kane, Alice, who was your man in the match and don't give the match in that game?
Man of the match. I don't know. I think Mount was decent in the first half. Mount and Luke Shaw were the 2 players that I think tried to get the ball forward. Like everyone else, I felt like was passing sideways and back. So I'd say Mount and Luke Shaw were all right. Reece James didn't really do anything wrong. Centre backs were okay. Pickford was all right. I might just give it to Luke Shaw just because I thought he put in 1 or 2 good crosses and stuff. I thought he was all right. Donkey, probably Harry Kane. He probably was the worst player, whether it's his fault or not, but he definitely was rubbish.
And what about you, Ems? Who was your man of the match and also who was your donkey of the match?
Well, I would say Jordan Pickford because he kept out. What shot was that? That right wing back? Or what's his name? Was it Connell or Donald? Whatever he's called.
Ronald or Donald or something like that.
Something like that. Sorry, not disrespect your surname, whoever it is. But that shot, that low drive, he saved that. I think Pickford probably the only one that can have his head held high and say, you know what, I done my best in it. And the donkey has to be Mr. Harry Kane because I just feel like man has to do more. I think they said the past 2 games, man's only had 2 shots on target or 2 shots or something like that.
2 shots in total, I think.
Yeah. So he needs to fix up. As well as I think people need to create for him, but he needs to do more. You know what I mean? There's certain man this is why I don't have. I'm not having it because certain man like Robert Lewandowski struggling, bruv, in Poland. I'm not even trying to insult Poland, but there's no one up to Lewandowski standards, but he always does his thing in the tournament. So for me, I think Harry Kane needs to be treated like the same and not coming with these excuses. So for me, anyway, don't kill the match, Harry Kane.
True.
Yeah.
And are you, Amok, what about you?
Nah, I have to agree with Alice, Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw did put in a few balls and he did well. It's just normal Luke Shaw. Hope he can get better from that. And definitely Harry Kane has to get it again this week. Because
it's a funny thing that you said Luke Shaw was your man of the match because Jose Mourinho didn't think that. Jose Mourinho happened to criticize Luke Shaw and also Reece James for being shit right backs and left backs, not
No.
offering as much going forward.
It's the whole team, but like obviously every team got one or two individuals that's going to outshine other people in the team. For me, I felt like Luke Shaw had the little edge. Only if everyone was at the same pace with him would have been better in the back. But it was just a shame that all I can say is I can't blame the players. As much as I'm giving a donkey to Harry Kane, I can't blame the players. All I got to say is the system behind how this player play. Because they're not playing with, they're not just putting themselves together, so let's go play. They're playing under guidance of the manager. He tells them exactly what he wants them to do. So if Kane underperforming, I think Southgate needs to take this one for him.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I'd have thought, because obviously Luke Shaw, like, he was all right, like, driving forward and that, but he wasn't really linking up well with Sterling. And I always think with Mount out, do you move Grealish to the middle, start Rashford on the left? Because him and Luke Shaw do have a good link up. And I feel like Sterling wasn't on the same page as him. Like, you know how Rashford makes those overlapping runs? Like, Sterling just wasn't on his page. And I think Luke Shaw was trying to move the ball forward. That's why I thought it was one of the better players. He was trying to play forward. But I didn't think the other attackers were on his page. I think maybe put like Rashford left wing.
There was no combinations. There was no like combinations. Like there was no combination play between like the fullbacks and the wide man, and in the midfield three there was no rotation. So for me, I agree with you.
No, it's true. Do you remember when England went the World Cup? Was in the World Cup. They had half of Tottenham team in the World Cup. They were good because these players they all used to themselves. They know. Alice, I totally agree with what you just said. Because I remember in the World Cup, when they had plenty of Tottenham players, England actually played better because you had the same players from the same team who understood themselves playing these games. Like, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Big ups to everyone, of course, who's watching the cut. And, of course, let us know exactly who your man of the match was and donkey of the match was. Munzi's his man of the match was with the ball boy, and also his donkey of the match or the worst player of the match was probably Rashford, as always, and Rice.
Munzi.
Yes, let's move it up, guys, to the second part of the show. Of course, the Euros match day 2 and 3 weekend wrap up. During the week we had Wales who beat Turkey and then ended up losing to Italy. Right as we speak right now, Italy and Wales have finally made it through. Italy beating the Swiss and also, of course, beating Wales. For the first, they were the first team to get 100% and go through. First team to go through, which big ups to Italy, especially in the style that they are playing, and big up Roberto Mancini. Belgium as well that ended up beating Denmark 2-1 with Holland as well and Austria winning their matches today and going through, securing their place in the next round. France and Spain during their game during the week. And of course, with Spain during 2 games with 2 points, looking like they might not go through. But again, they still got 1 game left. France as well with 4 points during their last game. England, of course, as you know, drawing with the Scots. Germany spanking the Portuguese 4-2, getting their first win. So far, so good, guys, with Germany actually getting their first win in class against the Portuguese. Are they looking like a team that can actually have an impact? Because now they have got the party started with them. They look like they might do something. As well, you've got Italy guys who are doing really well so far. With the Italians, guys, are they the dark horse of the Euros? Are they?
True. Yeah. I think they are. Them and the Belgians.
I don't think Belgians can be called as dark horses because they're always favourites. But I would say the Italians. I'll say the Italians are dark horses personally because, like, apart from Verratti, and the 2 warriors at the back, man, don't know anybody else, man. I'm not even gonna lie. At the moment, and that's about it. Other than that, man.
New team. They got. I think they got young stars as well. They got a few youngsters in that team.
Yeah.
I think you have to respect Roberto Mancini because he's changed Italy from obviously knowing they used to be known as a defensive team. They scored 1 goal and they shut things down. They are scoring 2 or 3 goals, and they've never done that before in the Euros. So big ups to Roberto Mancini for changing the way the Italians play football. It's quite slow because I've noticed one thing. The only disadvantage is that although they're playing very good football, attractive football, it is a bit slow. It is a bit slow. So if they want to play a team that will press them high and have high energy, they will struggle. Because I see they don't have players on the wing with pace. That's one thing they're lacking. So when they striding at their fastest, it's not that fast, honestly speaking. What do you guys think, man?
Yeah, no, I think Italy have looked good. I saw someone, I can't remember what it's saying, Italy were the dark horses before the Euros, and they talked about the sort of the depth in their squad, and they had like a Noble coming off like top goal scorer, one of the top goal scorers up there. They got Chiseo, who's like this young up and coming right winger. Some people say maybe a Sancho alternative, and they got a pretty good midfield. And I always say like a lot when I talk about United and football in general. I feel like games are always sort of won and lost in midfield. When you've got Jorginho, Verratti, and Locatelli, 3 solid midfielders there, you know that you can control the ball quite well. You know, we've got an okay midfield, but we didn't take James Ward-Prowse or anyone he's an all right player. We've got about 3 CDMs and Bellingham midfield. If you compare our midfield to their midfield's better. And if you can play the better
more
football.
More
creative, exactly. I think they could do something, Italy. You know, they're not conceding. They've got confidence. They're on a momentum streak. So I think they could definitely go far, to be fair. Semi-final, final. I still think France will win, though.
Yeah, honestly. Another team that's doing so well, it was the Dutch team. They've won 3 games out of 3, 9 points. Gigi Wijnaldum also far got 3 goals in total. You've got Memphis Depay doing these things. They're looking like a team that could potentially win the Euros as well, since they're doing very good. But you never know. Once you get to the knockout rounds, things do change when you play a better team. What do you guys think of the Dutch chances of winning the Euros?
Personally, I can't see them winning it. But no, not in a bad way. But I do like, I don't know, man. When you compare this Dutch team to like years gone by, it's mad. Like, tell even the strike force when they've had man like Kluivert and Van Nistelrooy and Bergkamp, and the list goes on. Like even their midfield, like Van der Vaart, Schneider, all these man, and then they got I don't even know. Wait, who they sent in midfield? I don't flipping know. Oh, De Jong and
De Jong,
De Ligt.
No, that De Ligt now.
De Ligt. You have to pronounce it properly. You have to everything needs to come out. De Ligt.
I'm always dissing my cousins.
But yeah. I don't think this is their time. I don't think this is their time personally. But I do feel in a couple of years' time they'll be back on the map again. So you know the Dutch, man. They always produce talented players, isn't it? And that's why they do their thing in Europe. So for me, I think maybe at best the quarterfinals at best for me for Holland, and then they'll go home.
I'm not taking them out though. They haven't won trophy, like national trophy since Lord knows, and they missed out. And they missed out on. Was it the last World Cup, right?
Yeah, lost to Spain, yeah.
You get what I mean? Like they haven't been that team, and for some reason they just came out from nowhere, doing what they do. It just reminded me of. It might not look like the same thing, but this is a better version of Greece when Greece won the Euros. They were underdog. No one spoke about Greece, but they rubbed the Vaseline on everyone, soaked everyone. Holland might do the same thing because these players is just too much. And the captain, he just signed for PSG. That guy is a leader. That's who you need in the team. Someone who's hardworking, that tells you off. He wants you to be where he wants you to be. He's a leader.
Yeah, we have that, Bruno.
Yeah?
We have that, Bruno.
No.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the... Yep.
But guys, let's move it on to game of the week. My game of the week for match day 2 and 3. I'm going to have to give it to Italy when they spanked the team that they played before Wales. They played. Who did they play again? And they won 3-0.
It was yesterday. They won 1-0.
No. They beat Wales 1-0. But they played. Who did they play before? Was it the Swiss?
Turkey.
Switzerland. Switzerland. Yeah. That game there was my game of the week. Lopetegui's goals were amazing. You know, those 2 goals. You know what? I keep saying before, I was saying this on Alice's channel. 40 million bargain. But anyway, what do I know? I'm just I'm just a regular guy, you know. But Ed Wood was a banker. But anyway, he runs Manchester United. But anyway, Alice, what was your game of the week?
I did like the Portugal-Germany game, 4-2 thriller. Germany played really, really well. From minute one, I was just like, Portugal are a mess, all of that. Do you know what really gets me, though? Is that Portugal can see 4 goals, and all they're talking about is Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. You know, it's
Ruben
Graham
Diaz.
Souness. Graham Souness don't like us, Manchester United. If before it was Pogba, but because you just thought, let me take Pogba out my tongue for the summer. Now he's targeting Bruno Fernandes. It's Graham Souness.
I know. I'm like, yeah, he didn't have a good game, but he got none of the ball because Portugal couldn't pass the ball forward, and they were awful. And I'm like, why is no one talking about Diaz? They don't want him. Bruno.
They played the team that wanted to win more. They played the team that wanted to win more. So I understand why he might hate on Manchester players, because that's something they've always done. So Bruno can escape that though. It's just gonna be his turn after Pogba.
And on that note, Amok, what was your game of the week?
To be honest, it's funny, yeah. But I would say the France 1-1 game against Hungary, no, that the drew. That game was too much. Just to see how much you see football. That's when some managers wait to the 90th minute before you see them celebrating. You know, football is, you can't predict football. You tell me why France should have win that match, but you saw this other team after the match, they were celebrating like they just won the Euros.
Well, they got their first point, you know.
Like football is beautiful. Football is a beautiful thing. Like this is the type of thing that makes me happy. Just to see the French players, they're all heads down, walking off the pitch, and other players are all excited. Like that's the love about this sport that we would like. It's beautiful. I love it.
And Ems, quickly, what was your game of the week?
Do you know what? For what I saw, I would say the Germany-Portugal game still, especially I love that counter-attack goal when Ronaldo scored. That was like lovely. But yeah, I'd say that I think for what I saw anyway, I saw the highlights of that game, so that looked like a great game to watch. But other than that, yeah, pretty much that's it.
Big up to you. Guys, we are almost close to the end. Guys, make sure you smash that like button. Also remember to share and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2.1k, of course. England versus Czech Republic tomorrow match preview. Man, we're playing again 7 p.m. guys. Don't get yourself excited. You know, we are practically through. All we need to do is draw is just to what the top. Actually, wait, we kind of need to beat the Czech because as we speak right now, they're above us. And is it safe to say we want England to win the competition or come second? Because there's some madness of whether you come first, you play this team, from this play you play the third best team, blah blah blah. I don't know. It might look like we might place the team against, I don't know, Germany, Portugal, the group of death team. I don't know. They're the group that's after us. But so I'm not too sure. But against Czech Republic, I only see one thing, you know. England will struggle, but they will get the win. We will struggle, but we will get the win. As long as we can get these creative outlets playing, such as Jadon Sancho, and forget Marcus Rashford. He's injured. There's no point putting him off. How is an injured player still getting minutes, you know? Still getting minutes. I understand he may have helped Gareth Southgate's kids get free school meals so he can save some money.
I was waiting for that.
Right, you don't need it. You're rich. You don't need to be offering that the good hospitality. Say, you know what? You saved our nation. You saved the free school meal, the charity. What you're doing, you deserve to play. All of this sentiment needs to come out because this is a competition. This is the Euros. You know, there's no such thing as sentiment when it comes to top quality football. There's no such thing. Sentiment gets you absolutely no. It don't make you win a trophy. But yeah, because I do not want to see Marcus Rashford play for England as we speak, because he's injured. He shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be coming on. You have other alternative as Calvin Lewin to come on, who has a fantastic season for Everton, who's been scoring goals, but yet you neglect that. Jadon Sancho, I want to see him play.
Right.
Goals and assists. Jude Bellingham, I want to see him play against Czech Republic. But I still going to be hopeful that England will win 2-1.
I'm hopeful.
Ems.
Hold on. Yeah, no. You know what though? I was thinking, yeah. I think in the English players, blood, the body language, everything, they seem very tense, blood. They're not loose, like their press conferences, everything. There's no like banter, just serious, blood. Sometimes just, you know, be a bit loose. So hopefully, the game against Czech, yeah, we can see them express themselves and hopefully win 3-1. And to win, we've got to play the best to be the best. So whoever we come up against, we've got to show them we're ready. I don't want to do this. Oh yeah, let's get Asia away to get to that, bro. That's some joke thing. That's a weak mentality, man. You got to beat everybody, man. Especially look at the World Cup, whatever. How long ago? Yeah, we got to Croatia semi-final. Everyone thought, yeah, bro. Man, all that. Let's do the best we can, and that's me.
And what's your scoreline for that game?
3-1. No,
3-1. Big scoreline. Alice, what about you?
You know what? I have a feeling we're just gonna win it. I think just because we've drawn to Scotland, he's gonna have to change it up. I think score prediction, it honestly depends on the lineup he puts out, because if he plays Trippier left back, plays Henderson, Calvin Phillips, and I don't know, Declan Rice and not Cam, and benches Grealish and starts Foden and Sterling and all that, I'm not confident. I think we will win. As I said, like if we do win, we'll play the runners up in the league with Portugal, Germany, France, which, you know, it will be hard and all of that. So I guess if you do draw, you have a better route to the final, but you've got to beat them all. And I think, you know, Czech Republic, we should beat them. We should beat Scotland, we should beat Czech Republic, and we should beat Croatia because they've aged. Like, we have the best team in the group. So I expect us to win, to be fair.
And Amuk, what about you? What do you think? How do you think England will
just
fare
going
against
precise on the
Czech?
guys?
Yeah.
We have to. It's not because we want to see the nation qualify to the second round in the tournament. You have to win. And based on the players that we've got, we have to win. Alice just said it. We're the better team. So which means we have to win. Hopefully, this when the optimism comes in. Hopefully, the manager can put a better team. A team that we all can see and say, okay, do you know what? We know we're going to expect this. We want to see the right people play. We want to see people get given opportunity that deserve the opportunity, not just because they want to have minutes. No, like the Rashford thing. That needs to stop. Why are you bringing on Rashford 10 minutes before the end of the match? Bring on someone who's more deadly than Rashford, like Calvert-Lewin. He might, in the last 5 minutes, he might do something. But Rashford needs 60 minutes to adjust himself. But England win 3-1.
3-1. Oh, 2
3-1.
3-1s, you know. Oh,
Yep.
Everyone out here is confident, you know. Not
We
like me.
have to.
I feel like it's going to be a hard game to
No,
win,
we
but
have to win.
yes, we have to win. We got no choice but to win. We have to go to the next round.
Yep.
Yeah. And top the group. You know what? We have to top the group to show that we are the best in that group.
Yep.
And I ain't taking second best.
No.
I'm not taking second best.
Not good enough.
And guys, let's move it on as we've come close to the end. My favorite part of the show, which is called Question Time, which I will ask a random question. As you know, it used to be about Manchester United, but of course, it's a Euros 2020 edition, so it's based on England, all these questions. So guys, this week's question will be this. Rank these strikers from third best, second best to first. So third to first, yeah? I'm going to name just about 4 strikers. So one of them will miss out. Actually, tell a lie, 5 strikers. 2 will miss out. We've got Wayne Rooney. You know that was coming. Alan Shearer. Gary Lineker. Michael Owen. And right now, Harry Kane. Who makes your top 3? Who makes your top 3?
Ooh.
I'm going to set the pace. I am going to set the pace.
That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah. Now, third place for me, I'm going to go with the pass, which is Alan Shearer, coming third place. Of course, he's not the all-time goal scorer for England. He's not. but he has had a great England career and had scored some memorable goals as well. But he still finishes third for me because I feel like there's another striker that will do far better than him. And as he's playing right now, he's going to take the second place, and that will go to Harry Kane because I believe he will be England's all-time goal scorer and taking it away from Wayne Rooney. Although in terms of tournament-wise, he hasn't performed. Yeah, he hasn't performed in the World Cup, and he also hasn't been performing now. But it's all about what he does in the
Qualifiers.
the qualifiers and etc. Yeah, but he does get his goal. He did win the Golden Boot, but like M said, his performance overshadowed that. First place has to go to Manchester United's all-time goal scorer and England's all-time scorer, who took over Bobby Charlton's record. Has to be Wayne Rooney coming first for my rank. The best striker England's ever had until Harry Kane takes over, you know.
True.
But it's the best striker I've seen because I wasn't there for Bobby Charlton, of course. And I wasn't there for most of the likes of Gary Lineker, even though I was alive, but I wasn't watching England like that. But yeah, it is what it is, man. My third place, Shearer, second place, Kane, and first place, Rooney. As you are our special guests, and you are the female, and I'm a gentleman, ladies first, before the guys.
Well done.
Oh,
What's your ranking?
it's a tough one because I don't really watch like Lineker play, but I think I've got to go with what I know, what I've seen. I'd probably put Kane third, Shearer second, and Rooney first because he's England's top-time goal scorer, and I've seen so much of Wayne Rooney, and yeah, just brilliant.
Definitely. And Mork, what about you?
This is tough, you know. I don't want to miss out on what's it called, Michael Owen, because I actually did like Michael Owen. Growing up watching football, I did watch him a lot. But based on the question itself, I just go stick with you guys. I would say Shearer, he's a legend, all-time legend, and definitely Harry Kane. Kane is already a legend, but he's too young to become a legend, so he's got a long way to go. He just needs to break more records, and he obviously gonna break more records. And obviously Rooney, you can't forget what he done, not just for country but club. Like, he's too much. So for me, it's the same. Shearer, Kane, Rooney.
And Ems, you are smiling now. I don't know why you are smiling, but it seems like you got
I like
better,
Owen, you know.
option.
Owen missed out. But I like
Oh, I know. Owen.
I'm gonna base it on me growing up and watching tournament football. I'm not basing it on these Mickey Mouse qualifiers when they're playing plumbers and shit like that. So for me, I'll say third. I'll say Michael Owen. Because that goal against Argentina always stays in my head, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, even though I was like 8 years old, but I put him third. Second, Alan Shearer. I thought he turned up when he was captain for England, so I put him second. And first, man's going for Wazza, innit? Because I feel like, even though man's been to bare tournaments, I honestly believe he didn't get injured at Euro 2004. I actually thought we would have got to the final. I'm not even gonna lie. So, and I feel like he lit up a tournament for England. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I could put Harry Kane in that top three as of yet, because I feel like man ain't done nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, man scored against plumbers and that in the qualifiers, like I said. But or cleaners or dustbin man, whatever you want to say, yeah. But like,
some of them were teachers, you know. I just have to say.
Electricians, plumbers, what else? I don't know. I could say any sort of job or whatever, yeah. So for me, until Harry Kane does it at a tournament, man can't put him in the top three because I feel like all these three have had an impact in some sort of tournament. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for me, because Harry Kane, what was the first one? The Euros, innit? The Euros. You're taking corners, innit? That one. He didn't do nothing. Yeah, he definitely do nothing. He didn't score, I don't think. And then the World Cup, was it the World Cup?
Yeah.
Obviously, he got his 6 goals, but man didn't do nothing. Let's be honest, he scored pennies. Yeah. And then this one,
he won the Golden Boot.
Yeah, but I mean, forget the numbers. Yeah, look at the pitch, the eye test. They tell you that he weren't that good. But anyway, and then this one, man ain't done that. Man talk about tiredness. But anyways, that's speculation. But yeah, that's my three. So it's
That's your
Owen,
three.
Shearer, and Rooney.
Big up Munzi, whose his three was Lineker third, Rooney 2, and Alan Shearer as his number 1. Guys, we have come to the end of the show, guys. We'd like to thank you for watching. You know, you can always watch us back on the player. Make sure you drop your comments and let us know who your top 3 was, and also smash a like as well, and also share. This is the show. This is the part of the show where I let the guys plug themselves in so you can find out where you can find them. I'm going to start off with our special guest today. We have Alice. Alice, where can the people find you?
Cheers for having me on. Just search Alice Talks Football on YouTube, subscribe there, and Alice Talks Footy on Twitter, Alex Talks Football on TikTok if you use that as well.
Fantastic. And Amok, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Instagram, prettyflaco_16.
And what about you, Ems? Where can they find you?
Well, currently I'm not on Instagram at the moment, but I will be back soon. But
Ems, what happened?
No, I don't know where I'll be back soon. But yeah, my Twitter is
mdom. But yes, guys, as always, you can find me on a Monday night at 8 p.m. on a Friday night sometimes. Right now, it's a bit mad due to Euros. She might not see me on a Friday night. Maybe might see me on a Saturday midday or Sunday midday. But for the weekly bulletin, it is what it is. Guys, as always, remember to smash that like, remember to share. So make sure you subscribe as well. And finally, last but not least, Alice, do not be offended because I'm about to talk to my ladies, my female fans, as they are the one who watches these streams all the way to the end, because at some point the guys do end up falling off. Ladies, remember to share the link to your ex-boyfriends. Also remember to share the link to your current boyfriend. Also remember to share the link to that dickhead guy that always buys you lunch at work, hoping he will get some, but he will never ever get some. And as you eat and chop that food away, you look at him knowing exactly what you want, but you know you'll never ever give him what you want because you're enjoying that free lunch. Make sure you share the link to that dickhead as well. Also remember to share the link to the guy that's been trying to move to you at the bus stop, asking you for your number. You've told him plenty of time, I've got a man, and out of anger and resentment, he has told you, your butt is anyway, you're ugly, I didn't want you. Remember to share the link to him. Also remember to share the link to that guy that has been trying to move to you at the tube station. You've also told him you've got a man. He is not listening, but he keeps insisting that, but we can be friends though, with lustful intentions. Remember to share the link to that guy. Also remember to share the link to the chicken shop guy that always gives you a free hot wing. Even though you don't ask for chicken and chips, you may ask for a burger as well, a kebab, but he flings in a free wing and asks you for your number, but you happen to give him your Snapchat and he's happy with that. Remember to share the link to him as well. And also remember to share the link to your dad's friends that's constantly looking at you up and down. Now that you have grown and you're a beautiful woman, and now they're telling you, wow, you have grown. And they're looking at you lustfully as well. Remember to share the link to them. And when they ask you, what is this? Tell them that you found a man that can do it way better than you. And that's Ivorian Spice, guys. As always, guys, remember to keep it united. Also, remember to keep it free lines. And remember to keep it Red United. Peace and love to everyone that's on the show today. We'll see you next week, Monday. Peace out.